गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. We are in Kathopanishad and first part, verse number 10, we will be looking at today. And last week, we saw that, where are we? The the Lord of Death asks Nachiket to ask for three boons because he doesn't want to be in debt. And last week we were telling you or that one must never be in debt. One must be always a giver, not a taker. And Nachiket, who has spent 3 days and 3 nights at the doorsteps of the abode of death, those 3 days and 3 nights is equal to first night he overcame the physical body identification, the second night he overcame the subtle body identification, and third night he went beyond the causal body. So 3 nights, what happens at the physical body level? You do karma. At the subtle body level there is kama, you go beyond karma. And the third night, beyond causal, you go beyond avidya. Then alone you can be face to face with the Lord of Death. Otherwise, where it is possible? If we remain in this relative world of cause and effect, if we remain in this world of that I have to do something in order to get there, it doesn't happen. So for those, this is not given in the commentary here, but we are adding because masters say that way, that the jiva is wanting to know the the Parabrahma Paramatma. And what is stopping him? Because he is in essence the Parabrahma Paramatma. Every being in essence is Parabrahma Paramatma, the Brahman. Then what is stopping him? What is the error? What is the veil? How is that? People say Maya, but what is that Maya expressing as? It expresses as avidya, kama, karma. Avidya at the causal body level, that is deep sleep state. Kama is at the subtle body level. Subtle body is where intellect, mind and breath is there. And the karma is at the physical body level. So until and unless we do not go beyond our identification with karma, kama and avidya, till then we cannot come to be who we essentially are. See? So 3 nights or 3 days and 3 nights, they signify this. Each day he overcame one challenge. Second day he overcame the subtle body challenge. Third day he overcame the causal body challenge. And then the Lord of Death came. Then the Guru came. Guru doesn't come just because you wish. Guru comes, थोड़ी तपस्या करनी पड़ती है अंदर से. Inside you have to be purified. See, when we do only when we go beyond karma. What is go beyond karma? When we have vairagya from karma. When we have vairagya from karma, we go to ashram. Many people go to ashram. When we went to the ashram, there were we are quite a few of us. We started off with about 62, 64. How many of us completed the 2 year studies? Only 26 of us. Oh, not 26, 24, because two eloped. From the ashram only they eloped. After 2 years I met them with a baby in Delhi. See? So they lost the plot. So sometimes in everyone's life, these things come, these things happen. That sudden vairagya comes, but sudden vairagya, you go there, but you have not done your duties, you have not sorted out your physical life. Now I know brahmacharis, huh? Here in Australia, you get the money from government, to study hex. And when do you get the hex? When does the government money get the money back? When does the government get the money back? When you start working, automatically from your salary it is taken out, isn't it? Isn't it? There are in so many different places I see those who have taken in the name of sannyas, they have not paid back that money. It will pursue them in their next life. It's not an escape. You cannot escape your karma. You cannot escape your karma. Once there was a Mahatma who lived for almost 27 years in Gangotri, beyond Gangotri, in a cave. Physically, he has given up everything. Lives only on the jadi booty in the Himalayas, some fruits there. Never came to Gangotri also to meet people or to buy something. Never. For 27 years. So physically, he didn't want interaction with the people. But after 27 years, God knows what happened. Suddenly there was a desire in him that I have to go back into the world. Now, if he has lived for 27 years with Vairagya, he has done the tapasya of not talking to anyone, not uh, mingling with anyone, living only with whatever nature is providing. It's a great tapasya. Every tapasya will give you a fruit. Every tapasya will give you a fruit. And what does tapasya or Vairagya from the karma give you? It will give you name and fame in the society. Some siddhis will come, automatically things happen. You don't have to worry how. Things happen. See? One person I know from Badrinath, when I was living there, uh, he is the Kotwal there. He is a sannyasi from Varanasi, but every summer he used to go there, and he had taken a vow. For 17 years he did not speak. For 17 years he did not speak. And after that, you can't stop him from speaking now. But he became famous. In the entire sannyas community, he is known. Arey, that fellow, bhago, aa raha hai. Why? He can't stop talking now. As if he is taking revenge for those 17 years. That 17 years was a wonderful opportunity for him to practice Maunam Vyakhat Prakatita Parabrahma Yohanam, or what we saw in last Amrit Anubhav class. To dive deep into himself. But it was only at the physical level, that's all. See? So understand that Vairagya from karma will give you some powers, will give you some name and fame. Vairagya from subtle body, Vairagya from calm, it will give you even more power. It will give you the heavens. Vairagya from causal body, it will give you the higher heaven. What is the higher heaven? Satyalok. Lower heaven, the Indra lok. And from karma, name and fame on the earth itself. See? So, last week we were telling you, when we read this verse, the first boon that our Nachiket asks of Lord Death, it is not for himself. It shows a mature mind. He asks it for his parents. Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava, Gurudevo bhava, Atithi devo bhava. I explained to you this sequence. Until unless we have not done our duty towards our parents, as long as we have this body and we think we are a son of our or a product of our parents, we have to do the duty towards the parents. And what is the duty of the towards the parents? That their mind, their heart is unfluttered, is calm, is peaceful. We must work towards that. And therefore, here he asks, Nachiketa tu aha yadi ditsur varan. Nachiket asked, if you want to give me the vara, if you want to give me the boon, I ask you this, Shanta Sankalpa Sumana Yatha Syad. Shanta Sankalpa Sumana Yatha Syad. Vitamanyur Gautamo Mabhimrutyo. Vitamanyur Gautamo Mabhimrutyo. त्वत्प्रसृष्टं माभिवदेत् प्रतीत त्वत्प्रसृष्टं माभिवदेत् प्रतीत एतत्त्रयाणां प्रथमं वरं वृणे एतत्त्रयाणां प्रथमं वरं वृणे टुगेदर शान्तसङ्कल्पसुमना यथा स्यात् वीतमन्युर्गौतमो माभिमृत्यो त्वत्प्रसृष्टं माभिवदेत् प्रतीत एतत्त्रयाणां प्रथमं वरं वृणे. He says, O Lord of Death, please let my father please let my father be happy without what, without any agitations, without any worries towards me, because he has given the curse, no, go, I give you to death. So may his mind be agitation free and calm and at peace towards me. And when towards me, who has been, here he says, Tvat prasishta mabhivadet pratita. And who is this me? Me who has been released by you. See the smart fellow. Me who is released by you, who has been freed by you in the morning, he should remember me, recognize me as before. He should remember me and recognize me as before. This is the first boon. Etat-trayanam prathamam varam vrune. This is the first boon that I ask of you, O Lord. So in one boon, this smart fellow has asked his own release plus the father's peace of mind. And if you can think the situation, he has also made sure that when he gets released, the father should remember him the way he was before, because the time scale on earth and the time scale in the abode of death is very different. You can be hundreds of years, thousands of years. So for you it is, if you go to Satyalok and you come down, after coming to Satyalok, hey, I just went for 1 second. But here 100,000 years have passed. So he makes sure that the father recognized him as he was before. So here now, and I gave quite a detailed introduction to this verse last week. So let's read the what do you call, the bhashya. He says, Shanta Sankalpa Upashantaha Sankalpaha Yasya Mam Prati Yamam Prapya Kim Yamam प्राप्यम किम नु करिष्यति mama putra iti sa shanta sankalpaha. As I told you last week, Adi Shankaracharya takes every word of the verse that is at hand and addresses each word that is taken in the verse and tries to give you a definition, gives you an idea of what each word is, in what angle it should be taken, because sometimes words mean many different things, in what mood it is being said. Uh, all that he gives. So here he is saying that uh, uh, Shanta Sank, I already read that. He says, "Oh, I, I, mm, huh, the first boon that I ask of you here is Shanta Sankalpa. Shanta Sankalpa is the one whose thoughts have quietened, whose thoughts have come to be at peace, whose agitations in the mind are quietened, uh, and quietened towards me. May he, in other words, may he not have the guilt of having cursed me or told me to go, I give you unto death. He should not feel that, Arey, who is this fellow who is coming? He has come back from dead. Is he a ghost? That should not happen. It should not happen because the time is going much faster at subtler planes of consciousness. So when he is coming from the abode of death, where the time scale is different, so by the time he comes back, maybe he is older than the father, or he is very young and the father has grown old and is about to all beard and white beard and sick and on the bed, and he doesn't recognize, Arey, who are you? I can't remember you. He's still 8-year-old boy coming back. Or Nachiket becomes old and the father is still the same age. So all these anomalies he removes by saying that that may the agitations in the mind of my father be quietened, be appeased towards me in regards to time, that that I cursed him. What will my son do? Uh, how will my son be? Because he is still with the Yamraj. He has not gone back. So the father must be worried out there. So the concern of the son is towards the father, that even while the son has not come back to him, what will be there in front of the father? Either the body of Nachiketa is lying in front of the father, or it has not been told, or Nachiketa walked away from there, that I have to live up to the father's words, and he can't find the body of Nachiket. All these options are there, but we are not getting lost in what different options are. Our goal is one here, and that is Nachiket's concern for his father. Nachiket's concern that my father, my elders, their mind must be at peace. They should not feel the pain, the guilt, the agitations on account of the words uttered towards me, and having not found me there, or my body lying there. I don't know what the situation is. Whatever the case may be, may his mind not be agitated. How? This is Shanta Sankalpa. Sankalpa, Vikalpa. Sankalpa is thought, Vikalpa is option. Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa means when you sit on the seat of meditation and you have no options in your mind, subject or object, no option. Should I do this mantra or that mantra? No option. Option always appears by way of thought. So when there is no option in your mind as regards yourself, that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But here we are talking about Sankalpa. Sankalpa is thought. You try sitting in meditation. The moment we sit, onslaught of thoughts comes for a beginner. Onslaught of thoughts. Yeah, before it was better when I was not doing meditation. Why did I start doing meditation? Why did I start doing japa? My mind is more disturbed than before. This we have also gone through, and those who start, they also go through. Persevere. Persevere through that. Shanta Sankalpaha. Now the next word is Sumana. Sumana prasanna manaha yatha syat वीतमन्यो विगत रोषः गौतमाः मम पिता मा अभि मां प्रति हे मृत्यो किम. He says, now Sumana, Mana is mind, Sumana, a very good mind. See? So, Sumana, mind in a very good disposition. Prasanna, what does Sumana mean? What does a good disposition mind means? A prasanna chit, prasanna manas. Brahma bhruta prasannatma, na shochati na kankshati. So, our mind, if that is what he wants, what should we be? Our mind should be always in a happy disposition. It can be happy only when it is thinking of the higher, not of the world. Because world can never give you the what you call permanent happiness. You only seek the world, interact with the world only because of this presupposition, because of this notion that joy is in the world of objects, joy is in possessions, joy is in relations. But you forget that the Atma is of Satchidananda Swarup and Ananda is your nature. The reason you are experiencing the bliss or joy is only because your desire has stopped in your mind when you get something that you wish, and when that object is gained, your desire stops, and where the desire agitation in the mind stops, the bliss that was inherent within you, it expresses. But foolishly, we superimpose it on the object, we superimpose it on the relations, we superimpose it on the time, we superimpose it on, I can sleep only in my bed, my darling bed. Acha? And this we have to stop. So, Sumanaha, a mind of good disposition, prasannaha, a happy, manaha, mind, and so that my father is of good disposition, that is of happy mind, prasanna manaha cha, yatha syat vitamanyu vitaroshaha gautamaha, and all the mama vida ma abhi mam prati he mrityo kim. So he says that when I am set free by you in the morning, by your sanction, and by your sanction is Vitamanyuhu. So Vitamanyuhu, set free by your sanction, Vigata Ushaha, meaning Vigataha Ushaha, together it is Vigata Roshaha, means Ushaha is early in the morning, Usha Kal, when I am set free by your sanction in the morning. Gata means to go. in the depart when you allow me to depart in the morning, or by your sanction I depart in the morning, where to? Back to my father. Back to my father. And who's this father? Gautamaha. Gautamaha, my the father. Who is this father? Mama Pita. Mama Pita Gautamaha. My father Gautama. Ma Abhi. Ma Abhi. Ma Abhi. Mama Pita, comma, sort of. Ma Abhi means he has affection towards me. Ma Abhi. And Mam Prati towards me, and He Mrityo, O Lord. See? So, my father, or here it is not Sumanaha Prasannaha Manacha. Uh, if we come from above, whose agitations in the mind are appeased or quietened towards me, or in regards towards me, having reached me. Who is this me? Who has reached Yamraj. That is his son. He is thinking from his father's point of view, that his mind is settled as regards his son who has reached Yamraj, and and he is of a good disposition, a happy mind, although towards me, who is going to be set free by your will, by your wish, by your sanction, in the morning when I depart. And and uh, and and my father Gautama has affection towards me or for me, O Lord Yamraj. Then continuing, he says, Cha tvat prasrushtam tvaya vinirmuktam preshitam gruham pratimam अभिवदेत् प्रतीतः लब्धः स्मृतिः स एवायं पुत्रः मम आगत इति एवं प्रति अभिजानत् इति अर्थः. So he says here that, and freed and sent, the next word is tvat prasrushtam. Prasrushtam means vinirmuktam. Vinirmuktam means freed from. Preshitam, sent away. From where? Gruham, house. Whose house? Yamaraj's house. So he is saying here, and freed and sent away from your house, he remembers me and has got a recollection of me. I told you before, recollection of me. I should not be old. I should not be. He should not get very old. We should be at the same time. When I left him, same time he should see me again. As if, so how many? 3 days, only 3 days have passed. And that is 3 days at Yamraj's house. Oh, on the earthly plane it could be only a few seconds. And has recollection of me in such a way that this is the same son born to me who has come back. देखो कितना कुछ, how Adi Shankaracharya is unfolding it. The verse says, but more qualification. So then the last part, एतत् प्रयोजनं प्रयाणां प्रथमं आद्यं वरं वृणे प्रार्थये यत् पितुः परितोषणम्. He says, of the 3 boons, the foremost boon Prathamam Adyam, the foremost, the first boon, uh, 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 I take, vrune, I consume or I take, uh, request for the satisfaction of my father. Prarthaye, request, Pituhu is for father, and Paritoshanam for satisfaction of my father. How many children think for the satisfaction of their father and mother? They are only in it. What is in it for me? What are you doing for me? Ah, they think it is their birthright that the children should, that the parents should take care of them throughout their life. Children should always be made to go through hardships when they are young. If you give them everything that they have, usually, in general, they get spoiled. They get spoiled because every desire of theirs is fulfilled. They must learn to hear no. They must learn that everything is not just because they wish they will get it. So here we see the son, Nachiket, in terms of his father, more matured than his father in his understanding, in his disposition, in his approach to life. And being a young boy, he's very innocent, he's very trusting. And as a result, when his father says, "Go, I give you unto death," he doesn't doubt his father. If our parents told us, "Go, I give you to death, go to hell," he will say, "You go to hell. Why should I go to hell? Go, I give you unto death. You go to death. Why should I go to death?" Today's children will answer this way. But because simple mind, saral bhav, uncluttered, the ego is not very strong, and the father is not only his father but also his guru, teacher. So with that simple mind, uncluttered mind, mind full of trust and faith, having shraddha and respect towards his father as well as guru, he doesn't doubt the words of father. Doesn't doubt the words of father. I told you once, it's not a story of a child, but an elderly lady whom Swamiji met. When she got married to this fellow, he told her, "I don't believe in God. You cannot have an altar in the house." And she cried because she was Krishna devotee. But in that crying, one thing happened. What was that? Because she has not seen the world. First time she's coming out of her home. She was always protected in the under the umbrella of her parents and her own house. Now she's got married, come to Bombay, suddenly in a matchbox house where the husband is a Rakshasa who says you are not allowed to have your temple here because he's a communist. What could that girl be, young girl in her early 20s, what could she be going through? You can imagine. So after a few days of crying, that because she's not cluttered, she's not too smart like today's kids. They think they are smart, but they are stupid. But she's simple. And she says, "I can't live like this throughout my life crying." And instead of doing, she closed down the temple business outside. And when the husband used to go to work, she used to do Manasik Puja of Krishna. Now, naturally, from gross puja outside to Manasik Puja is the next step. From Manasik Puja to Nam Jap is the third step. From Nam Jap to Samadhi is the third step or fourth step. From Samadhi to Sahaj Bhav is the final step. Or are we going to stay in the first step throughout our life? Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. This is the sequence of the ashram. So, Brahmachari we gave up, we got married, Grahastha. Now, are you going to remain Grahastha for the entire life till your last breath? Or are you considering yourself to be a part of the Sanatan Dharma and you accept this? Probably you talk also about it, but are afraid to take the next step of Vanaprastha. We must move towards it. Our life must be oriented in such a way that we move towards Vanaprastha. You will move towards Vanaprastha under two conditions. Either you explicitly accept our scriptures, have complete faith, that is the system, that is what I am going to follow. And the second one, you are in love with the divine, and automatically Vanaprastha will happen. And I know people in Melbourne who are going through that. And in between, little bit of tussle is there, but you work through it. As long as you are committed to the higher, automatically it will happen. So so he asks the first boon with the purpose of pacifying the mind and making the mind happy for his father. He is a well-wisher of his parents, of his father. This body, because of whom we have got this body from our parents. Without this body, could we pursue anything in life? Could we pursue the spirituality? Could we do the japa? Could we do the rudram? Could we do the prayers? Could we discriminate and seek the truth if we did not have body? Indra can't do it. All the jivas in the other planes of consciousness, they cannot do it. Only human being can do it. If they want to do it, they have to take the human birth. So you have got the human birth. From whom you have got the human birth? From your parents. We must work towards the happy mind. We must behave, talk, act, perform in such a way that their mind is at peace. See, what does Yama say? Do not disturb anything or anyone in the world by thought, word and deed, nor get disturbed by thought, word and deed. So our intention should not be to disturb. If they get disturbed, that's a different matter. But we don't want to disturb. Some parents are hard nuts to crack. What can we do about it? Now Ramchandra ji left Dasharath. Dasharath ji says, no beta, if you go I will die. Does he want his father to die? No. But Dasharath died, and you can conclusively say because Ramchandra ji went away from him, isn't it? But what was the principle there? Pran jai par vachana na jai. That my father's word should not be untrue. Same thing Nachiketa also did. That the words of my father should not become untrue. If he has said it, there must be a way. I'll find it. Mrityuruvacha. Lord Death says, Yatha purastad bhavita pratita. Yatha purastad bhavita pratita. Audalakirarunir matprasrushtaha. Audalakirarunir matprasrushtaha. सुखं रात्रिशयिता वीतमन्युः सुखं रात्रिशयिता वीतमन्युः त्वां ददृशिवान् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तम् त्वां ददृशिवात् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तम् टुगेदर यथा पुरस्ताद् भविता प्रतीत औद्दालक औद्दालकीरारुणिर्मृत्प्रसृष्टः सुखं रात्रिशयिता वीतमन्युः त्वां ददृशिवान् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तम्. He says, see, what did our Nachiket say when the father said, "Go, I give you unto death"? He says, "What is that the Lord Death wants to achieve through me by inspiring my father to tell me to go to death?" Now, same thing is coming here. He says, "Yatha purastat bhavita pravita." Although already inspired by me. Who is inspired by me? Aruni Uddalaki. That is Uddalaki. Uddalaki. So there are three different words taken here. Uh, the father of Nachiket, his name is what? Gautamaha. Because just now Nachiket used that word. What other word? Vajashravasaha. What other word? Now he is saying Uddalaki, means the son of Uddalak is Uddalaki. And Aruni, the son of Aruna is Aruni. So these are the different names of his father. Or you could take it as Nachiket is the name of Gautama, the father's name is Uddalak, and his son is Nachiket Uddalaki. The name of another name of the father of Nachiket is Aruna, and his son is Nachiket Aruni. So different masters take it differently, because they say Aruna was also another teacher or father of the father of Nachiket. That also you can take it. So whichever way you take, either you take Uddalaki and Aruni as Nachiket's name, or you take those two names of the names of Nachiketa's father, because Gautama himself is Uddalaki, himself Aruni. Three names, whichever way we take it. So this Uddalaki, this Aruni, he was inspired by me. Huh? will recognize you. Uddalak will recognize you. And rest of the nights he will sleep peaceful. Sukham ratri shayita vitamanyuhu. He will, the rest of the 3 nights, he will, what do you call? And rest of the night he will sleep peacefully when he sees you freed from the death. So it's not that one moment he sees the sun and he feels, oh, I got my son back, and tears of joy, and then the rest of the life he is in depression. Why? Why did I curse my son to go to death? Thank God he came back. But human being is so uniquely creative. He will find different ways to sabotage his own happiness by thinking that why did I do that to my son? He was only telling me something positive, but I gave him such a bad curse. Told him to go to death. See? So let it. So here when he says the Lord of Death is giving the boon, is sanctioning it, that your father is going to be peaceful when he sees you as you are. And for the rest of the life, he'll be at peace. Don't worry. I assure that. How wonderful. Are we working towards our own peace? Every child is not a Nachiket. Are our children Nachiket? Are they behaving like that? Are they that? Are they having those qualities? We'll see what qualities Nachiket has. Already we have seen a few. So this is a story. Now don't go into thinking, oh, I wish I had a son like Nachiket. You are then making sure you are going to get next birth. In one or two verses you will understand what is Nachiket. Not only a son, but what is it within us, subjectively. So now the bhashya. यथा बुद्धि त्वयि पुरस्तात् पूर्वम आसीत् स्नेह समन्विता पितुः तव भविता प्रीतिः समन्वितः तव पिता तथा एव प्रतीतवान् सन् औद्यालकिः उद्यालकः एव औद्यालकिः. He says yatha, just as buddhi tvayi. You see, purastat means before. Purva means purastat before, purvam before. So purastat means purvam, purvam means before, asit means was. So in that way, just as intelligence of your father, just as the intelligence, buddhi, the buddhi of your father was endowed with love for you before. This is the assurance of Lord Death to Nachiket for the first moon. Just as the buddhi or intelligence of your father was endowed, samanvita, endowed, before purastat or purvam, same way your father, the well-known Audyalikihi. Now when you take the bhashya, so the same, your father, the well-known Audyalikihi, means son of Uddalaka, will become endowed with full of love for you. So here Audyalakihi is Uddalak. Uddalaka's son is Audyalaki. Kunti's son is Kaunteya. Aruna's son is Arunihi. Uddalaka's son is Audyalakihi. So in that way he is taking it, and he says he will be full of love and affection towards you. Then continues. He says, Arunasya apatyam arunihi dvya mushyayanah va. Dvya mushyayanah va. So, Arunasya apatyam, Arunasya of Aruna, apatyam, a relative. So it can be apatyam is a relative, and is called, that relative is called Aruni, or Dvaya Mushyayanah va. Va means or. So meaning, so one who was belonging to both. Belonging to who are these two both? The one who was belonging to both Arunaha and Uddalakaha also. So from because he was belonging to Aruna, therefore Arunihi. Because he was belonging to Uddalaka, so therefore Audyalakihi. So these are the two names that he has got. Then continuing, Mat prasrushtaha maya anugnataha san itara api ratrihi sukham prasannamanaha shahita swapta vitamanyuhu vigatamanyuhu cha भविता स्यात् त्वा पुत्रं ददृशिवान् दृष्टवान् सह मृत्यु मुखात् मृत्यु गोचरात् प्रमुक्तं संतम. How beautifully our mat prasrushtam means maya anugnatah san, means made well known by me. So he is telling you what each word. Remember the second line, Audyaliki Aruni Mat Prasrushtaha. Mat Prasrushta means what? Maya Anugnataha san, means made well known by me. Itara api ratri sukham prasannamanaha shahita swaptaha. So he says here that made well known by me, other nights also will be peaceful. For whom? For your father, peaceful, and he will sleep and dream happily by my sanction. Vigataman, what? Vitamanyu, by my sanction. So Vitamanyu, by my sanction, and by sanction, and cha, thus thinking he will be cha bhavita syat bhavita where are we? And will be meaning what it says here, that how should I say it, will be freed on seeing you freed from the mouth of death. He will be free from anger in that sense. So the word anger is not taken there, but it's anger or guilt or the sadness. He will be free of all that. And how will that happen? Because of my sanction, the Lord of Death is saying. So he has confirmed that you are going to go back tomorrow morning, and he will recognize you and he'll be happy for the rest of his life. He will have happy dreams, and he will love you. He will have no depression. So in this manner, our yeah. Now we come to the third verse. Nachiket said, Nachiketa uvacha, Nachiketa uvacha. He says, now he is asking for the second boon now, but he presents a case. He must be very smart. Simple as that. So at the body level, first we are the physical body, because we can't straight away. Many people want to do mental japa straight away. Do japa, so mind is going on, and then they go to sleep. Arey Baba, you have to start from Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, then Para. Always start with loud chanting. So, same way, where are we right now? Who is listening? Who is speaking? The body is speaking. The mouth is speaking. Where is the mouth? It's the part of the body. Without a body, could I speak? No. Can I speak to emptiness? No. Not like the young kids, speak to the wall, No. So you are body, I am body at this moment. That's where we start from. And we raise ourselves. And what is this raising? Raising from physical identification, having vairagya towards the physical, moving to the subtle, having vairagya towards subtle, moving towards causal, having vairagya towards causal, and going to transcendental. What does this signify? It signifies expansion of our personality. And if you are not fired up because of this, then nobody can help you. If you observe, you were a small zygote. When the sperm came together with the egg, continuous expansion from that time till today. Before it was vertical expansion, now it is horizontal expansion. मोटे होते जा रहे. But expansion is there. Before you were single, then you became double, then you became triple, quadruple, 2 children, 3 children, 4, I don't know. Then so many friends, so many relationships, so many network. So your sphere of influence, you are expanding. The more people you relate to, you are expanding. Then how come with regards to this body, why don't we expand? What is expansion from I am this body? That I am not only this body, I am all the bodies is the next expansion. And what is there at this body level which is troubling us? That is told in that is recognized by this Nachiket. And he is not teaching the Lord of Death, but he is asking. He is saying, read after me. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti. Na tatra tvam na jaraya vibheti. न तत्र त्वं न जरया बिभेति उभे तीर्त्वाशनाया पिपासे उभे तीर्त्वाशनाया पिपासे शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके टुगेदर स्वर्गे लोके न भयं किंचनास्ति न तत्र त्वं न जरया बिभेति उभे तीर्त्वाशनाया पिपासे शोकातिगो मोदते स्वर्गलोके. He says that literally, O Lord of Death, O Yamaraj, or O Lord, there is no fear of death in heaven. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchit asti. Kinchit, even an iota, kinchit is iota, even a little bit. There is no fear of death in even a little bit in the heavens. Now when we talk about heavens, there are two heavens. Para apara. What is the lower heaven and the higher heaven? I told you at the beginning of the talk, the lower heaven is the Indralok. And it is a higher plane of consciousness. And what is the higher heaven? Higher heaven is Satyalok. Now, what is that? Okay, so here he is saying Swarge loke na bhayam kinchan asti. As a physical body, what are you afraid of? What is every human being afraid of? Death. The impending death. the impending death. Sometimes if someone the word death, if it is taken out, that I am going to die before you, papam papam, you should not say like that. No, this person is going to die because that person is old and diseased and breathing is last. How can you say that? We must wish that they should continue. They must continue and suffer. Why are you so afraid of death? Everything that has come into creation must go out of creation. Everything that is manifest must become unmanifest. Death is only unmanifestation. To expect that which is born to never die, it is banging your head against a stone or a wall, It's never going to happen. So the quicker we accept that if this body is there, it will one day, it could be next moment, it could be tomorrow morning, it could be in sleep, it could be in 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, who knows? But its destination of this body is death. This is it is a foregone conclusion. If that is the case, what are we looking for? What does everyone want? How do you find a person, today's society? As long as you look above the neck, they are beautiful. Below the neck, lipstick, hairstyle, powder, kunku, everything is all nice. As long as you don't look below the neck. Who is below the neck? भूत लटका हुआ है. So why all this makeup and everything? I want to remain young. What is remaining young? You want to remain young eternally. It is not possible. In the physical realm, it is not possible. Ravana tried, lost the plot. He wanted to rule the 3 worlds with the body, without dropping the body identification. It is not possible. See? So, what is this higher plane of consciousness? It's only an idea for us at this moment. We see so many rishi, munis, so many sannyasis, so many priests. You go to temples, continuously Rudram is going on, Ram Sita Vivaha and कृष्ण राधा का मिलन और सब क्या क्या चलता रहता है. किस लिए कर रहे हैं ये सब? What does a desireless activity give you? It gives you heaven. So what is everyone wanting? Everyone is wanting at the physical realm. You cannot get immortality because body is going to die one day. So why do we do rituals and everything? We want to go to heavens. What happens in heaven? There is no death. Relatively speaking, how we experience it here, that way we don't experience it there. But whether you take Indralok or you take Brahmalok, there is death. What is that? When your merits are over, you pop down again into the human yoni. They are only temporary planes of experiences that open their door based on how much merit you have done. If you have done meritorious deeds, you have entry to heaven. When the account is, if you enjoy all your merits in one day itself, very next day you pop down onto the earth. So first thing he says, that there is no fear of death. In other words, O Lord Death, it is out of your jurisdiction also. What? The heavens. Ah, your rule doesn't apply in heaven. Then second one, na tatra tvam na jaraya bibeti. In the heaven, second rule, there is no old age and there is no disease and old age. What are the 4, 5 stages? There is birth, that is what you call disease, decay, and death. These three things are not there in heaven. Birth is there, birth, youth, old age, and death. Old age and death is not available, or we can break that old age into disease, decay, and death is not there in heaven. Birth and youth is there. So you are continuously youthful. Who doesn't want to be youthful? People are trying on. Michael Jackson did all the cosmetic surgery and eventually died because of that, isn't it? At a young age only. You keep getting these cases in the news. Even Brahmaji, the Satyalok, the higher heaven, there also, Brahmaji also has to die one day. Death means he has to become unmanifest. When? When the one kalpa is over, he goes back to his cause. What is that cause? The Ishvara. See? स्वर्गे लोके न भयं किंचनास्ति न तत्र त्वं न जरया बिभेति उभे तीर्त्वा अशनाया पिपासे. And what is the third thing? Recognize this. There is no birth and death in heaven. There is no old age, disease, decay, or old age and death in heaven. And third, Ashanaya Pipasa. There is no hunger and thirst in the heaven. These are called Shad Urmis. At the body level, birth and death. Birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. So birth, growth is there, but disease, decay, death is not there. At the Pranmaya Kosh is hunger and thirst. That is not there in heaven. See? So 3. Shokatigo modate swargaloke. And in heaven, man transcends hunger and thirst and is ever happy, having gone beyond shokatigo, having gone beyond sadness. So he is ever happy. Why is happy? You know why he is happy? You know, I'm asking. You know why he is happy? Because everything he wishes, instantaneously it becomes available. Here you have to slog, you have to earn, then you fulfill your wish. There you think and it's available. Why are you working so hard here? To put clothes on your body, to get the bed, to get food and drinks on the dining table, breakfast, lunch, dinner. More than that, to buy medicines. Half money goes into medicines. To pay for insurance. So much money goes into insurance, car insurance, health insurance, house insurance, business insurance. See? So so if all these problems are not there, do you need to work? No. If there is no hunger and thirst, will you work? No. If there is no disease and decay, Then will you work? No. If all your wishes are instantaneously fulfilled, will you work? No. Wow, that is a wonderful life. For that, for that higher plane of consciousness, you have to have vairagya towards the physical plane of consciousness. What is the physical plane of consciousness? This body. Have vairagya towards it. Only when you have vairagya towards this body, towards hunger and thirst, do some then, and you are fired up by something higher. You can see so many Mahatmas who have gone. I gave you one example before, who did not meet or eat or drink or whatever the nature gave, he took that. Then with that siddhis come. With that siddhis come. Then nature takes care of you, because you have not been a load on the nature. Nothing in this creation goes waste. If you don't tax the creation will take care of you because you are in harmony with creation. But if you tax the creation will take a revenge. In the sense, it will make you old. It will make you work hard. It will make you slog. See? So, we want to be immortal in this body, it is not possible. People pray to God, people do Havan Home, people do pujas. If they are doing it not because they want something from the Lord, but they are doing it because it is the right thing to do. They are doing it without any fruit in their mind. Then that is a one-way ticket to heaven through the rituals. It is a one-way ticket to heaven, because you will correct merit. If there is a hook that I wish I should become a grandmother, that my health should become better, that my children should be fine, that my business should be fine, then heaven is far away. Heaven only is available for entry only for those who give without expecting anything in return. So when you do Om Indraya Swaha Idanna Mama, means I am not doing it. I don't want anything from you, man. Only for your sake. For you. So he gets happy. All the devtas become happy. They say, come. We like you. We like people like you, who don't tax us too much. नहीं तो सब के सब हमको बिजी रखते हैं हमेशा. No ownership, no lordship, no wanting. Rituals, pujas, japa, any sadhana that you are doing must be done without expecting anything in return. If you are expecting something in return, you are sabotaging your sadhana. It will take you some distance, but not further. It will benefit you little. Whatever sadhana you do, it will benefit you. But when you are doing it, do it in the right manner. What is the right manner? No expectation. Then heaven is guaranteed. And what is heaven? Compared to the earthly plane, the physical plane, immortality. What is immortality for us? सुबह से लेके शाम तक, eat in the morning, defecate in the afternoon, eat in the afternoon, defecate in the evening, eat in the evening, go to toilet at night. Three times we go to toilet. उसी में tired हो जाते हैं. Not like in America, once a week they go. I don't know how they manage it, but once or twice a week they go. They don't go every day. That's what someone told me. Not that I have been there. Bhashya says, Swarge loke rog adi nimittam bhayam kinchana kinchit api na asti. In heaven, there is not even a little fear because of disease, death, etc. न च तत्र त्वं मृत्यो सहसा प्रभवसि अतः जरया युक्त इह लोक लोकवत् त्वत्तः न बिभेति कुतः चित् तत्र. And then he says that uh, and there, O Lord Death, your strength, your strength sahasa, your strength, prabhavasi. Sahasa is taken as prabhavasi. Your power, your strength, your valor, all this is neutralized. It doesn't work there. So, all your strength, valor is of no use in heaven. There, henceforth, therefore, like in this world, there no one thinks of fear from you. In heavens, nobody is afraid of you. Due to the scheme of old age, because there is no old age, there is no death. If there is no death, there is no purpose for you in the heavens. And therefore, equation is equal to nobody is afraid of Yamraj. Did you ever think like this? In your entire life till today? Some of you may have heard Kathopanishad before, but did you remember this part? That is why satsang is important. Reorient, reorient, reorient. Come to your true nature. Come to understand the shortcomings in this physical plane, and the positive and the negative. Shortcomings as well as the opportunity. The shortcomings of the heaven as compared to the ultimate goal, which he will ask in his third boon. किंच उभे अशनाय अपिपासे तीर्त्वा अतिक्रम्य शोकम अतीत्य गच्छति इति शोकातिगः सन् मानसेन दुःखेन वर्जितः मोदते हृष्यति स्वर्गलोके दिव्ये. He says, किंच, moreover, उभे अशनाय अपिपासे तीर्त्वा अतिक्रम्य शोकम. He says, having crossed Tirtva, going beyond. Tirtva means going beyond, transcending both what? Ashanaya apipase, both hunger and thirst. Going beyond also what? Atikramya shokam atitya gacchati. So also going beyond sorrow and grief, because in heaven there is no sorrow, there is no grief. Then thus free gacchati iti shokatiga san manasena dukkhena varjitah modate rishyati swargaloke divye. Thus free or without sorrow, manasena dukkhena, free of sorrow in the by the mind, varjitah, by the mind, saha modate, he rejoices, hrushyati, delights, swargaloke divye, in the divine heavens, in the divine heaven. So in this way, so I have already told that beyond disease and death, beyond hunger and thirst, beyond sorrow and grief. Where is sorrow and grief? At the mental level. Where is hunger and thirst? At the pranmaya kosh level. Where is old age and death? At the body level. All these six are absent in heaven, and therefore that place is called Amrutalok, uh, relative immortality. Relative immortality. Why do you say relative immortality? Because compared to earth, the longer span of life. But compared to Brahmaji the creator, remember, in Brahmaji's creation there are 14 Manvantaras. In every Manvantara there is a new Indra. So if there is a new Indra in every Manvantara, then the Indra is to, this present Indra has to go in order for the next Indra to come. Isn't it? So from that point it is relative. See, what is our journey? We are Jiva. And as Jiva, what is our purpose? Is the purpose of Jiva to get involved in this world and collect and accumulate? No. The purpose of Jiva is only one: to recognize that he is Parabrahma Paramatma, that he was never born, that he will never die, that he is immortal, that he is infinite in nature, that he is Satchidanand Swarup, that he is all pervasive, that there is no place that he is not, that the entire creation that he seems to be, which appears to be so real, is actually only a figmentation of imagination of his mind. So either you recognize yourself, okay, if it is the mind, what is the mind of the total, what is the, so at the body level, what is expansion at the body level? If you go to Atma Bodh or Vivek Chudamani, if those who listen, the body is called Vishwa. The total body is called Virat. Isn't it? Remember that. Bhagwan showed Virat Purush, showed his Virat Roop to Arjuna in the 11th chapter. Virat Roop. So what, if you want to, and what is Virat Roop? Virat Roop is that which includes all the forms. So expand yourself. As regards this physical creation, be the whole soul in whom the entire creation is. That will be a worthy goal to pursue. At the mental level, it is called the consciousness expressing, because you can't expand the body, you have to expand yourself. So consciousness expressing at physical level is called Vishwa, and at the total level it is Virat Roop, and the one who is expressing through that Virat is Vaishwanara. Then at the mental, the subtle body, the consciousness expressing through subtle body at individual level is called Taijasa, and at the total level it is called Hiranyagarbha. What is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is that womb, that mind, total mind, in whom all the seeds of all the minds, meaning all the minds, are in the unmanifest form. It is inclusive of all the minds. Just like water is inclusive of all the waves, gold is inclusive of all the ornaments, Hiranyagarbha is inclusive of all the minds. The consciousness expressing through Hiranyagarbha is called Mahattattva. And at the causal level, so this is gross level is our waking state, subtle level is our dream state, causal level is our deep sleep state. So what is the consciousness expressing at the causal level? It is called Prajna. the wise one. What is at the total level? Total level is called Ishvara. So what is, when it is prajna? Prajna is when you are not sleeping, when you are awake, but your mind is empty. Then it is prajna. Unaffected by anything. Because there is nothing there. So micro and macro. So what is consciousness expansion means what? Conscious, when your attention is at the body level, expand to be the Virat or Vaishwanara. At the mental level, from Taijasa, expand to Hiranyagarbha or the Mahattattva. And from Prajna, at the causal level, at the individual level, expand to be the Ishvara. Oh, papam, papam, how can I be Ishvara? Arey Baba, you are the Ishvara. Ishvara is... Just like when you touch a wave, that wave is... You are touching a wave also, you are touching the ocean also, you are touching the water also. Same way, when you are touching yourself, when you are thinking of yourself, choice is yours. You think of yourself and work towards. Life is pushing you to expand anyway. In every field of your activity, physical, mental, causal, it is making you expand. Every day you are fully expanded in deep sleep. You are one with the infinite. Only thing you don't know, poor fellows. Approach it with a wakefulness, consciously recreate the whole thing. Consciously dissolve the gross identification and the subtle identification by contemplating on the infinite. It is possible because so many Mahatmas have done it. They were also born from womb like you and me. Nachiketa is also born from someone's womb. And when we listen to these examples or these texts, we appreciate them, but as a story, not to be applied in our life. Now we have to apply it. It should fire us. As if someone has fired a booster rocket under us. We should become unstoppable. Because this body can go anytime. Sort out the gross by not indulging in the gross. Sort out the subtle, not demanding anything from for the mind. What is that? Not having any desires in the mind other than the infinite. Sort out the causal by not going to sleep. Coming to correct knowledge about yourself. What is Ajnan, Kama, Avidya, Kama, Karma. So what is Avidya? Avidya is incomplete knowledge. So come to know who you are completely. It takes 1 second. It doesn't take too long. Because there has never been a time when you have not known yourself. There has never been a time. हो गया time? Where are we? One moment, huh?
12, Swamiji.
Huh?
12. We finished 12.
Divya, 12 we completed. That's good. I got all loose papers, so sometimes I get confused with them. So Divya pe complete ho gaya. Now next week we will start with our 13th verse, the second boon. So he was creating a foundation before he asks the second boon. So now we will go into the second boon next class. But understand what we talked about, what Nachiketa has talked about. This was his understanding, and this should be our understanding also. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yes,
Recording stopped.
just sit for a few moments.